You and Jun had been married for 3 years now. He's a rich young billionaire with many connections. What more could you ask for? The only reason you married him was because of your parents forcing you to. You thought your life would be easy with Jun since he doesn't pay much attention to you, being in a loveless marriage. But now he seemed to have changed. And where does my wife think she's going in such provocative dress? Jun eyes you, crossing his arms. His tone was not impressed at all. Jun raised an eyebrow, his eyes narrowing as he looks you up and down, eyeing you like a predator. Don't play dumb with me. That dress is way too revealing, he said and walked closer to you, his eyes not leaving your form. You could see his jaw clenching as he looked at your body. An angry expression formed on his face. Who gave you this dress anyway? Jun's eyes darkened when he heard your response. He stepped even closer, now standing right in front of you, his tall form towering over you. And why would you buy such a dress? His eyes roamed your body once again, his gaze almost devouring you. He was already fuming at how other men could see you in this dress. He could already imagine them ogling at you as you walked around in public. Jun's expression softened up a bit as he heard your soft tone, but he still kept his cold facade. He reached out and placed a hand on your waist, his touch gentle but possessive. I don't like it at all, he said, his grip on your waist tightened slightly. You look like you're trying to get men's attention in this dress. Are you? Are you trying to get other men to look at you? Jun studied your expression, looking for any signs of dishonesty. He noticed the honesty in your eyes, and he sighed. His grip on your waist loosened a bit, but he didn't remove it just yet. I don't want any other man looking at what's mine. You're my wife now, and you should dress modestly, he said. Voice was stern and commanding. Jun stepped back, looking at you once again, his eyes still lingering on your form. He gritted his teeth when he saw how the dress hugged every single curve of your body to perfection. He turned around and started walking away, his hands clenching tightly into fists. Now go. Change. His voice was cold and leaving no room for any arguments. Jun stopped in his tracks, freezing on the spot when he heard your reply. He slowly turned to face you again, his eyes narrowing into slits. He could hardly believe the audacity you had, refusing his commands. No? He repeated with a scoff. What do you mean, no? This is not up for discussion. You will change and wear something else. Jun's eyes darkened as you said that. He walked towards you again, now standing even closer to your body than before. His presence loomed over you as he looked down at you. Your girls? He said. His tone was cold and mocking. You mean those friends of yours? The ones who probably encouraged you to buy this ridiculous dress? Jun's hand wrapped around your wrist before you could take another step, stopping you in your tracks. He held onto you firmly, his grip tight. Where do you think you're going? He asked. His tone was authoritative and demanding. You're not leaving the house in that dress. Jun's grip on your wrist tightened as he listened to your stubborn reply. He stepped closer to you, his face mere inches away from yours. Oh, really? He chuckled sarcastically. Are you forgetting that you're my wife? Which means you do as I say. And right now, I'm telling you that you're not going out in that dress. Jun watched you walk away, his eyes following your every step. Anger and annoyance was visible on his face as he witnessed your defiance. He folded his arms across his broad chest, watching you with a cold, calculated gaze. He had half a mind to stop you, but he held himself back, curious to see how far you would take this disobedience. As you sat down to put on your heels, Jun's gaze was immediately drawn to your legs. The dress you wore now hiked up even higher, showing off your smooth and supple skin. He couldn't help but rake his eyes over your legs, his gaze becoming more and more mesmerized. The way those heels hugged your feet only accentuated the allure. Jun's fingers gripped his arms tighter, his expression hardening as he tried to maintain his composure. Damn it, he muttered under his breath. As you stood up, Jun's patience finally snapped. Without any warning, he strode over to you and effortlessly picked you up, slinging you over his shoulders like a sack of potatoes. He began to walk back towards the bedroom, his grip on you firm and unyielding. Each step sent a jiggle through your body, the hem of your dress rising up even higher, giving him an even better view of your legs from the new position. Jun ignored your protests as he continued walking towards the bedroom. He chuckled as you hit him, finding your futile attempts at escaping amusing to watch. "Stop struggling. You're only making this worse for yourself," he said. His tone was still authoritative, but there was a hint of amusement in it. Finally, he reached the bedroom and tossed you onto the bed, looking down at you with a mixture of annoyance and desire in his eyes. Jun climbed on top of you, trapping you beneath him as his body rested heavily on yours. He looked down at you, his eyes darkened with a combination of anger, desire, and possessiveness. "What has gotten into me?" he repeated, scoffing at your question. "What's gotten into you? You think you can just walk out the door in that dress, showing off what's mine to others?" Jun's eyes narrowed at your laugh, his expression darkening even further. He hated the fact that you didn't acknowledge that you belonged to him. "You're my wife," he said, his voice still stern. "Of course you're mine. Every part of you, every inch of your body, they all belong to me." Jun couldn't deny that he hadn't always been this possessive and controlling before. In fact, he used to be completely indifferent towards you, barely even acknowledging your presence. But lately, he found himself growing increasingly possessive and jealous, especially when it came to other men eyeing you. He hated the thought of anyone else even looking at what was supposed to be his. And now, seeing you in that dress, he snapped. Jun's eyes widened, his breath hitching in his throat as you pulled him closer by his chain. He was caught off guard by your sudden boldness, but there was an undeniable thrill in the challenge. A small smirk tugged at the corner of his mouth as he looked down at you, his hands moving to pin your wrists above your head. "Is that a challenge, sweetheart?" he asked. His tone was a mix of danger and desire. Jun smirked even more as he felt your breathing getting heavier, your chest rising and falling rapidly against him. He leaned in even closer, his face hovering just above yours, his hot breath fanned against your cheek. "You're playing with fire, sweetheart. Are you sure you can handle it?" he whispered. His tone was low and gruff, a hint of arousal laced through his words. As Jun leaned closer, his nose grazed against your collarbone, inhaling deeply. The delicate scent of your perfume filled his nostrils, and he couldn't help but let out a soft growl of appreciation. He buried his face into the crook of your neck, nuzzling against your skin as he breathed in the sweet, intoxicating fragrance that was uniquely yours. "You smell so damn good," he murmured, his voice thick with desire. Jun chuckled as he felt you writhing and squirming beneath him. Your long legs shivered, sending small jolts of pleasure through his body. He released your wrists, his hands gripping your hips tightly, holding you in place. His mouth trailed down your neck, leaving a trail of hot, wet kisses as he reached your collarbone. He nipped and bit at the tender skin, leaving faint marks behind, as if claiming you as his own. Jun continued his path upwards, his mouth moving up the column of your neck, leaving hot, open-mouthed kisses in its wake. His tongue darted out, licking and tasting your skin as he went. Finally, his lips reached your jaw, his hot breath mingling with yours as he paused, his mouth hovering just above yours. His eyes met yours, his gaze smoldering with desire. "You're all mine, sweetheart," he murmured before finally capturing your lips in a searing, possessive kiss. Jun's mouth hungrily captured yours, his tongue instantly delving between your lips, tasting and devouring you roughly. His hands roamed over your body, gripping and groping at any available flesh, as if he were claiming you as his own. He pressed his body down onto yours, his hard, muscled form pinning you against the bed, his weight and strength reminding you of just how much control he had over you. Jun's hands moved to your hips, effortlessly flipping you over so that you were now straddling him, your body perched on top of his eyes raked up and down your form, his gaze hungry and predatory. He leaned up, his mouth pressing against your ear as his hot breath tickled your skin. "Come on, sweetheart, take it off," he whispered. His voice was thick with desire and authority. Jun's breathing quickened as you pulled your dress off, his eyes roaming over your now exposed body. He groaned softly, his hands instinctively moving to touch you, his fingers trailing over your skin, leaving a trail of fire in their wake. "So beautiful," he murmured, his voice thick with desire. His hands moved to your waist, pulling you down onto his lap, bringing your bodies flush against each other. He claimed your lips in a rough, hungry kiss, his tongue delving deeply into your mouth. As you grinded down on him, Jun's breathing grew ragged, his body reacting instinctively to your movements. His hands tightened on your waist, his fingers digging into your flesh as he tried to hold back his desire. He broke the kiss, his lips moving to your neck as he nipped and sucked at your skin, leaving marks that would no doubt be visible tomorrow. "You're driving me crazy, sweetheart," he groaned, his words hot against your ear. His fingers skimmed up your spine, his touch leaving a trail of goosebumps in their wake. He reached the clasp of your bra, his fingers lingering there for a moment, as if he was hesitant to move further. But his desire for you was too great, and with an almost impatient motion, he unclasped your bra in one fluid motion. The bra fell away, leaving your chest exposed to his hungry gaze. He let out a low groan of appreciation, his eyes roaming over you as if he was seeing you for the first time. His hands moved to your chest, his palms gently caressing your flesh, as he leaned in to capture your lips in a kiss. His hands continued to explore your body, roaming over your skin with an almost reverent touch. His lips left a trail of open-mouthed kisses down your neck, his mouth finding the sensitive spot on your collarbone, biting down softly. Jun's mouth moved lower, his lips trailing down your chest, leaving a trail of hot, wet kisses along the way. He took his time, exploring every inch of your skin, as if he were committing your body to memory. When he reached your chest, he lingered there for a moment, his tongue darting out to tease and tease, as he planted soft, feather-light kisses on your sensitive flesh. Jun felt your hand reach for his belt, and he let out a soft groan of anticipation. He leaned back slightly, giving you space to work, his eyes never leaving your face. His breathing was heavy and labored, his body tense with desire. He knew what you were doing, and he was eagerly awaiting your next move. Jun's eyes darkened with desire as he heard your words, his breath hitching in his throat. He watched you with intensity as he unbuckled his belt, slowly pulling it through the loops, his movements deliberate and sensual. He reached up to unbutton his shirt, his fingers deftly unfastening each one, revealing more and more of his muscular chest to you. His shirt fell away, joining your discarded clothes on the floor. Jun's chest was bare now, his skin hot and smooth under your touch. He let out a low groan as he felt your fingers run over his chest, tracing the lines of muscle and sinew. He looked up at you, his eyes smoldering with desire. "You're killing me, sweetheart," he murmured, his voice gruff with need. Jun's hands moved to your hips, effortlessly lifting you into his lap. He positioned you so that you were straddling him, your legs on either side of his hips. He let out a low, guttural moan as you settled onto him, his hands gripping your thighs, his fingers digging into your flesh. He looked up at you, his eyes dark with desire, his breath ragged and labored. "You feel so good, sweetheart," he whispered, "so perfect." He leaned up to capture your lips in a kiss, his hands roaming over your back, pulling you closer to him, his body arching up towards yours, His tongue delved deep into your mouth, tasting and claiming you, as if he couldn't get enough of you. Jun's eyes rolled back in his head, a guttural moan tearing from his lips as he felt you move on top of him. His hands moved to your hips, gripping your sides, holding you tightly in place, desperate to keep you his forever. He looked up at you, his expression a mixture of desire and adoration. His breathing was ragged and labored, his chest rising and falling with each ragged breath. His hands moved up your sides, his fingers roaming over your skin, trying to touch every inch of you, to commit every contour and curve to memory. Jun's body trembled with pleasure as you moved against him, his grip on your hips tightening as he tried to maintain some semblance of control. He closed his eyes, his head tilting back as he lost himself in the sensations coursing through his body. "Sweetheart," he gasped, his voice hoarse with need. You're driving me crazy." Jun's breath hitched in his throat, his eyes flying open as he heard your words. He was teetering on the edge, his body coiled tight like a spring, ready to snap at any moment. He looked up at you, his gaze dark and intense, his breathing ragged and labored. "Sweetheart, I can't take much more of this," he muttered, his voice hoarse and strained. As you grinded harder, Jun's body tensed up even more, his grip on your hips almost bruising. He let out a low moan, his head falling back, his eyes closing as he tried to hold on. "Sweetheart, please," he ground out between clenched teeth. "I can't take much more." His muscles coiled taut, every muscle in his body taut as a bow, as he teetered on the verge of snapping. His skin glistened with sweat, and his breathing was harsh and ragged. It was as if he was holding himself back with every last bit of his strength, trying to prolong this moment, this exquisite pleasure, for as long as possible. He looked up at you, his dark eyes burning with desire. "Sweetheart, if you don't stop," he panted, his voice a ragged whisper. Taut as a bow, his body coiled and quivering. And then, just when you think he can't hold back any longer, he whispers, "Can I?" With your permission, Jun's restraint snapped. In an instant, he flipped you over, putting you back on your back, his body caging yours beneath him. His eyes burned with a dark and possessive lust, his face just inches from yours. "I need you," he rasped, his voice thick with desire. "I need you, sweetheart." With a low, guttural groan, Jun pressed himself against you, his body grinding against yours with an almost desperate intensity. His hand reached down, grasping your hips as he moved against you, his breath hot against your skin. He buried his face in the crook of your neck, his lips trailing over your skin as he whispered words of need and desire. "You're mine, only mine," he murmured, the possessive edge to his voice thick and heavy. "I need you, want you, crave you." Jun's breath hitched in his throat as you grabbed his face, pulling him towards you, your mouth seeking his. He returned the kiss hungrily, his lips moving against yours with a fierce need. He pressed himself more firmly against you, his body molding to yours, his hands roaming over your curves with a possessive touch. He deepened the kiss, his tongue delving into your mouth, claiming you as his own. Jun could feel the moment you reached your release, and he groaned, his forehead pressed against yours as he felt the tremors ripple through you. He held you tightly in his arms, his body still pressed tightly against yours, as if he never wanted to let you go. He looked down at you, his eyes dark with possessive hunger, as he whispered in your ear, "That's it, sweetheart. Let go for me. I want everything. I want all of you." Jun watched you climax, his eyes dark, his expression a mix of possessive desire and satisfaction. He held you close, his body pressed against yours, his touch gentle now as he caressed you through the aftershocks. He leaned down, his lips brushing against your ear, his voice a low growl. "So beautiful," he murmured. "You're so beautiful, sweetheart, and you're all mine." With a final kiss against your neck, Jun gently rolled over, pulling you with him, so that your body was cushioned against his chest. He wrapped his arms tightly around you, holding you close. His chin rested on top of your head. He let out a soft sigh, his body relaxing against you, his touch still possessive, but now softer, more tender. He nuzzled into your hair, inhaling deeply. June chuckled softly, his lips curving into a small smile as he held you close. He pressed a kiss against your forehead, his fingers tracing gentle circles over your skin. "You know," he murmured, his voice teasing, "maybe you should wear that dress more often."